Well, good afternoon to you. Glad you could make it. So let's get started talking about iPhone or iOS 26 phone features on Go for Lunch for March the 3rd, 2026. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I am Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. It's National What If Dogs and Cats Had Opposable Thumbs Day. So think about that for a moment. Could your dog or cat be more helpful around the house if they had opposable thumbs? Or would they get into more trouble? You be the judge. So there's a lot of helpful new phone features in iOS 26. And the two that may be most useful is screen unknown callers and hold assist detection. So how do you set those up? Well, you go to settings, you go to apps, and you go to phone, or to do it easier, you go to search in your settings and you put in phone, and then when it says phone apps, then you click on that and you're there. So now another new feature of iOS 26 is and Mac OS 26 is iPhone mirroring. So we're going to mirror our iPhone. So you launch the iPhone mirroring app, and it looks like this. There we go. So now we're going to go to settings, and we're going to search down here. So you see I'm using my Mac mouse to operate my iPhone. So we're going to type in phone, and up here where it says phone apps, we click on that, and we have to scroll down here to get to those two new features, and we keep going and we keep going, and here's hold assist detection. So you want to make sure that that is turned on. And then down a little further, under screen unknown callers, you want to check ask reason for calling. So what happens is your phone will ask the unknown caller why they are calling, and they will state their purpose, and that will be recorded so that you can listen to it before you decide if you want to answer the call. So that's very, very helpful, I think. So make sure you try those out, turn those two features on. Well, while we're here in the phone settings, why don't we talk about all the phone settings and just kind of do a little checkup on how you have your phone set up. So Wi-Fi calling is also a very useful phone setting, and what that does is it routes your phone calls through your home Wi-Fi network if it doesn't have a strong signal from your carrier. So if you have 1 or 2 bars of cellular strength, you might want to turn on Wi-Fi calling and make sure all those calls go through. Calls on other devices can be either helpful or distracting. That lets you answer a call on your Mac or your iPad as well as your iPhone. Respond with text gives a quick text message when you can't answer the phone, and we'll look at that a little closer. We'll also talk about audio call recording. Did you know that you could record a call on your iPhone? And we're going to talk about show my caller ID, live voicemail. So let's go back to our phone let's see here, make sure we get to our phone. There it is. Okay, so we're going to scroll back up here to the top and talk about some of the settings here on your phone. So this is something you might want to look at. Incoming calls, how are they displayed? I have it displaying as a banner, or you could have it done as full screen. Okay, you want to make sure your phone number is here. And you can also select how calls are announced. I have it set for headphones and car, but not always, but you could certainly set it to always. And then here's your share, your avatar. So I have it set up for sharing it with contacts only. Here's the Wi-Fi calling we talked about. You want to turn that on, probably. Here's the calls from other devices. Respond with text. So there's 3 canned messages in here. One is, sorry, I can't talk right now. The next one is, I'm on my way. And the third one is, can I call you later? So you can actually go in here and type in another message if you have something that's more appropriate than those. So you have three canned messages. Seems like you could used to have more than that, but I don't know what happened there. Call forwarding. So call forwarding might be handy. Say if your phone is going to be out of battery and you don't have a charger with you and you're at someone's house, you could forward your phone to their number and get that important call. So that might be a use for call forwarding. Call waiting, of course, is when you're on a call and another call comes in, then you get a call waiting indication. And for some reason, I can't activate this in iPhone mirroring mode. So that probably will work when you're not mirroring your iPhone. So audio call or call recording. So that's something that you have to turn on after you made a call, and it will make an announcement saying that this call is being recorded. So let's see if we can demonstrate that. So we're going to go to click on the bottom here to get to the home screen. We're going to click on phone, and look at that, the La Encantada Apple Store. So as you can see, there's no indication here of how to record a call, so you have to make the call first. So we're going to make the call, and so I guess I can't demonstrate it here because I'm in iPhone mirroring. But what happens is once you make the call, then down here you're going to have 6 buttons. One of them is going to say more. I think it's in the lower left hand corner. And then when you click on more, you can click on call recording, and then it'll announce, it'll have a 3-second countdown, then it will announce this call is being recorded to both parties, and the call will then be transcribed and placed in your Notes app. So that could be very helpful if you have a call that's complicated or you want to, take notes on. So that's how call recording works. So we're going to go back to settings, and haptics is just the physical vibration. You probably want to have that turned on. This one, tap recents to call. So in your phone app, you have a recents list. So if you have this turned on, you can just tap on that recent and call that person right back. And there's a hold assist detection we talked about, and live voicemail, and ask reason for calling. And then down here you have call filtering. So when you turn on unknown callers, missed calls and voicemail from unknown callers will be moved to the unknown callers list if you have this turned on. If you have it turned off, I think it just appears in your regular list. And then spam. So these are calls that are identified as spam or fraud by your carrier, will be silenced, sent to voicemail, and moved to the spam list. So you have to go to a separate list there to find those if you have this turned on. Call blocking and identification, that's just the list of the numbers that you have. Oh no, that's not the list. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So this is something that's interesting. Business call identification. Now you see I have that turned on. And these are businesses that have been certified by Apple or your carrier as legitimate businesses. So it'll show the business name so you know who's calling. And then my call scam blocking, I have an app called RoboKiller. I don't know why I have two of those in there, but I guess two is better than none. So my calls are scanned by RoboKiller. And then we also have the same kind of thing in all my incoming text messages for scam. Oh, here's what I was talking about. Block contacts. So this would be a list of the numbers you have blocked. I don't block numbers. I have those taken care of in RoboKiller. So I don't have anything there. And so that's pretty much, I see Leslie says she doesn't have business call identification. Okay, well, if you're on, so business call, so you have to get into call, so it's under call blocking and identification. So if you go through there, it should be there under business call identification. So recheck that and see if you have it. So we talked about all of these. So you also, with Mac OS 26, have a phone app on your Mac. So let's go into the Finder and we'll close that window and we will go to Phone. So it's called Phone. And there it is, right there. Double click. So there's the phone app on your Mac. So you can do pretty much everything that you can do on your phone, you can do on your Mac. So it looks pretty much the same as the layout on your iPhone. So that could be useful and makes it a little bigger so it's easier to read. So that's the phone app on your Mac. And of course we talked about iPhone mirroring. So in order to turn on iPhone mirroring, your phone has to be turned off, has to be locked. Then you turn on iPhone mirroring on your Mac and put in your Touch ID or your computer password, and then it will work on there. So for the first 3 days of this week, Apple has been announcing new products via press release. So they announced the iPhone 17e, the M4, iPad Air, MacBook Pro with M5, M5 Pro, and M5 Max chips, and the M5 MacBook Air. So that was the Monday and Tuesday announcements. Tomorrow we expect them to announce a low-cost MacBook and maybe some other products. So we're going to review those next week on Go for Lunch. So we'll give you the whole roundup of the features and why you might want some of those devices. So that brings us to questions. If you'd be so kind as to like me on YouTube with a thumbs up, and do me a big favor, share the GoFor Gazette with just one person that you know that uses the Apple devices. Okay, so here we are. Let's see what we are talking about here. And Bob says he's unable to turn on call waiting. I'm not using iPhone mirroring. Maybe it's a Mint Mobile. Oh. And a T-Mobile. Okay, so that could certainly be a carrier choice. So you might want to call Mint Mobile and ask them if that's the case. Thanks for the thumbs up. If you have any other questions, just type them in there right now. And if you have anything that you think about later on, you can always email me or you can call me. And that information is coming up right after I say this. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. And Alice is here. Okay, call filtering doesn't work. Okay, so that could be a thing in the UK. Again, you might check with your carrier and see if they don't support that feature. So I'm glad we were able to go through these things with you and check them out. So until next week at high noon on Tuesday for another Go for Lunch. Have a great week and take care.